Hi folks, today we're in the East Village at Archangel Antiques, and our hostess today is Gale, the owner of this lovely antique shop. Hi Gale, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. How are you?
Fine, and thank you for having us.
Well,
Can
it's
you
my
tell
pleasure.
us about Archangel and what makes it so special?
Well, the main thing, besides Michael and me and Richard, uh, are the buttons, I would say. We have 2 million antique buttons here.
2 million antique
I
buttons.
know, it's hard to believe, but you know, they're small, so they
Okay.
can take up a lot of room. Like, this whole drawer here is all, well, this whole case is filled with buttons. That whole case, these buckets down there, all of these drawers, some over here. In back of you, you have about 2 million buttons. See, there are some down there on cards.
I see.
They go from, I would say, about 1860s to maybe the 1970s.
And how did you accumulate this collection?
Well, it started about 20-something years ago. I bought a cookie tin that had black glass Victorian buttons in it, and people seemed to like it. So I decided I'd advertise for buttons. And I did. Wherever I was traveling, I would advertise. And it turns out I learned more about buttons than I ever gave any thought to. And I wound up with buying a lot of collections. Like these cards come from collections. And a collection...
I see it. It's a part of a collection. What type of
Right.
buttons are those?
These are black glass Victorian buttons with gold design on them.
Oh my.
I had never seen anything like that. These, and you see, like this one has hearts on it, and I've sold some of them off the card. These are Victorian brass buttons with designs on them. And you see, a while back, maybe in the 30s or so, like here, look at these. Are these fabulous? And there still are. There are button clubs that have contests, so there'd be a contest for the best button of this type.
Oh.
So a collection from a woman, usually is when Aunt Gertrude died, the family doesn't want 200 cards of buttons, so you know they're willing to sell it. But you can spend between $5,000 and $15,000 on a collection. But that's how you get fabulous buttons, you know. Otherwise, you can have to look at these. These are called...
Let me see if I can get a shot of that for you people.
Yeah, these are called Gay 90s or jewels, and they came out right after Queen Victoria died. And people were tired of playing black glass buttons. You know, they went into Art Nouveau where everything was like the hair was up and the necklines were down.
I see.
You know, everything in opposition to it.
What are these clothes behind you? What are those, Gale?
These are, this is a collection of vintage clothes from, when is this, should we say 70s?
That would be 80s.
From the 80s. There is some clothing here that's from anywhere from 1920s, well, 1920s like to maybe 1970s or 80s. You can tell the 80s, like is this horrible or is this horrible?
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
It's perfect 80s. And this would be from the 1940s.
And
So
you were
it's-
showing us earlier this
Yeah.
lovely glass case that's behind us. Can you tell us more about that?
This case?
Yes, ma'am.
This case, Michael put together and gave it kind of a more masculine touch, you might say. So
See if I can get a shot of that.
you see, like there's the old tobacco tins, some buckles, some jewelry like from Masonic and other lodges. These hankies are from World War I. They're usually around 1918. They were from France. When they have,
I
they'll say
see.
to my sweetheart or to mother. And we have compasses down here, photographs, books, keys.
What a lovely collection.
Yeah.
Gale,
yeah.
how about this case here? This seems very interesting. Can you tell the folks
This
out
is,
there more about this?
These are cufflinks, obviously. And the ones down here, we have a lot of keychains on top, but the ones down here are from anywhere from 1880 to about 1930s. And in the very late, I'll show you something, very late
Okay.
1930s, someone came up with the idea to do this back.
Oh.
Before that, cufflinks were double-sided, like that, or like that would be more Art Nouveau. And I guess they thought it would be easier to do
To
that.
have them like that.
To have them. Now the smartest cufflinks are these, and I wish I could get thousands of more, but they're very hard to find. They're called snaps, and they're from the 1920s. This used to be full, but I can't get them anymore. They're very hard to find. And what you do is they snap open, and before the guy or the girl puts their shirt on, you put a piece in each side and you snap them. Now what happened, of course, is, Uncle Bob lost one of the pieces under the bed in 1932 or something. So it's hard to get them, but once people buy them, they're addictive. We have money clips and different,
Oh, Gale, you have quite a lovely collection.
We do, and
well, we want to thank you today for inviting us here. And folks, it's Archangel Antiques. Gale, could you tell the folks out there how they can find you? And then hopefully that phone they'll be here to see this lovely collection.
Well, you can, and we also have three giant collections here of New York City postcards from 1900 to 1950.
Oh, let me get a shot of that.
Yeah, this is by geography, and these are topics. And then we have all sorts of postcards and fabulous collection of old photographs probably from the 1850s when it was invented up to the 19...
Let me see if we can get a shot of that.
This is some of the photographs.
Oh, I see. Oh, Gale, they're beautiful.
And here we have this I did by time period.
Now,
compulsively organized.
oh, yes, I see.
And there's all kinds of, you have catalogs, fashion stuff, trim.
I see. You have a very lovely shop.
Well, you can just call us on the phone, or you can find us online. We're on Facebook, although I have to say, Rich and I are too old, and we're not very responsive like that. But
That's okay.
We do have a website that's coming up.
Okay.
So
well, this won't be our last visit. We're going to come back.
And you can just come down and say hi. And
okay,
call,
great.
And Michael and I will be glad to help you on this side, and Richard will show you some of his weird stuff next door.
Oh, Gale,
hopefully
thank
not weird
you.
behavior, but
Okay.
weird merchandise.
Well, Gale, thank you so
Okay,
much
Peter.
for allowing
Thank
us
you.
to be here with you today. We're PCTV, and this is Gale at Archangel Antiques, and we've had a lovely time. Thank you. Until next time. Bye-bye.